For those who knew Clifford Orji as a razor blade seller at the popular bustling Oshodi market, they would never have imagined he would turn out to be a deadly man-eater. When Lagos residents moved past the highway bridge near Toyota bus stop, Oshodi Isolo Expressway, it was not unusual to dismiss Orji as a destitute striving for a living until the morning of February 3, 1999, when a faint cry for help from a self-created grotto under the highway bridge alerted passers-by. This is the true life story of Clifford Orji, who was said to have killed and eaten human beings in Lagos in the 90s. It was an unbelievable discovery that sent shockwaves down the spine of Lagosians in the early 90s. Once inside the cave, the people were shocked to their marrows as they were met with a putrid smell, with freshly cooked human limbs, wrists, thighs, and a dying woman lying helplessly by a metal pot and firewood. The victim, whose cries gave Orji away, was identified as Awawu from Agege, and she was immediately rushed to the hospital in Ikeja. Orji was incoherent in his statement when police arrived at the scene and was taken to Makinde police station in Oshodi, where media personnel drilled him for answers all Lagos residents were asking. Few days after Orji's arrest, he was paraded before the media with roasted parts of human beings including skulls, legs, hands, and abdomen. One severed head of a lady identified as Eno, a trader from Akwa Ibom, was also on show. It was indeed a chilling sight. A disheveled Orji told interviewers he hailed from Enugu State and that he had been eating human flesh for years. The Different Concord newspaper quoted him to have said, "We have been eating human meat for the past 7 years before coming to Lagos. It is our culture to eat human meat. We have killed over 3 people, especially young girls who hawk wares. We always lured them to our enclave under the pretext that we wanted to purchase their wares. Once they are in our nets, we pounce on them and kill them for eatable meat. My colleague is a human hunter while I am the butcher." Orji's answer to the question on whether he would continue eating human flesh if he becomes a free man led many to believe he was suffering from mental illness. "Yes, to me, there is no difference between human meat and goat meat," he said. Others simply believe he was putting on a show to escape the wrath of the law. Though the police had reasons to believe Orji and his accomplice, Tahiru, were not just human eaters but also human part sellers, as a huge sum of money, phone checks were all found in the cave. The case eventually led to a dead end. Orji was later arraigned in court for alleged murder and was remanded in prison. He even filed a ₦1 million lawsuit through his representative, Abiodun Odusote Chambers, against the Lagos State Attorney General, Ade Apaye, over his continued detention in prison for about 12 years without trial. Clifford Orji remained in the Kirikiri maximum prisons in Lagos for nearly 15 years until he was pronounced dead in August 17, 2012 at age 46. He was said to have demonstrated extreme signs of insanity before his death. No one came forward to receive his corpse, which was deposited at the Isolo General Hospital mortuary. In more recent times, occasional crimes of robbery and rape have been recorded at the spot which was once Clifford Orji's hideout. The flyover that connects Apakun to Oshodi from 7 and 8 bus stop on the Airport Road, Lagos, has become one of the criminal hotspots Lagos residents have been warned to be wary of, especially at night. Many commentaries, I am sure, were written in the wake of his death and reminders as to the many things wrong with the Nigerian state. As usual, the typical Nigerian phenomenon of learning so slow, forgetting so fast sets in. Every incident simply finds rest in the voicemail, as we say in local parlance, meaning we simply forget. Many Nigerians may have forgotten him, but not many Lagosians will. He is Clifford Orji, first known Nigerian cannibal. You will also forgive me if I say celebrated cannibal. The news of his death filtered in on 17 August 2012. He died of unknown causes at Kirikiri Maximum Prison, Lagos. As expected, only in Nigeria do people die of unknown causes, and for full effect, an investigations committee is set up. Clifford was arrested in February 3, 1999 and charged before an Ebute-Metta magistrate court in Lagos on February 19th of the same year. Since then, he was never tried. When the Cliff Cannibal saga broke out, the major issue was that of determining if it was a case of human being part merchandising or cannibalism cum insanity. It wasn't the days of the now popular phones, but Clifford had not only a 090 Nitel mobile phone of that era, he equally had a check of 80,000 naira on him. While he was being arrested, police at the time had reasons to believe he was insane, mentally unstable, and psychologically handicapped. terms that best described a vast majority of those charged with running the affairs of this supposedly great country. The intrigues, however, remained: who owned the check, whose account, amongst other loose questions. One is not ignorant of the fact that all sorts of strange and unrelated items were actually found in custody of such character. However, it was a case of very little answers in the midst of many questions. Clifford appeared in court only once and 13 years later died in prison. So many questions were left unanswered. Who were those responsible for the Clifford case? Was any of his victims ever identified? No forensic, no autopsy, nothing whatsoever to determine the cause of death of those he allegedly was eating, even at the point of arrest. 13 years is not 13 hours. How could none of our psychiatric homes ascertain if Clifford was sane or not until after almost 10 years, when his health had deteriorated? Clifford would eventually die in 2012 and was buried by the Lagos state government with no family members to claim his body. And until today, the government were not able to trace the owner of the check or investigate the case thoroughly to know if Clifford was actually a human part dealer or just a human eater. This was the sad tale of Clifford Orji, who had killed so many people but died in prison without the Nigerian government investigating to know the truth about Clifford Orji. Guys, if you can relate to this story, or you've heard about this story before, or you experienced it, do well to drop it in the comment section and don't forget to subscribe and share. Thank you.